Michelle was right. The truth had finally surfaced. Her husband had been cheating. At first, she had refused to accept it, clinging to denial, but the evidence left no room for doubt. Furious and humiliated, she contacted a lawyer and made one thing clear: she intended to take everything she could in the divorce. In her mind, he deserved nothing. What no one knew at the time was that this emotional storm would soon spiral into a tragedy that would shock an entire neighborhood. In the days following Christmas, residents of East 7th Street in Austin began noticing unusual tension inside the Brooks household. On the morning before the murder, Jasmine Brooks was seen entering a nearby supermarket carrying only a small shoulder bag. Store cameras later showed her moving quickly through the aisles, heading straight to the meat department. Witnesses recalled that she appeared distracted and agitated, repeatedly checking her phone while questioning the price of a large turkey. At checkout, her debit card initially failed, causing her visible stress. When the payment finally went through, the total was unusually high. Her cart contained expensive specialty foods, luxury items, and a significant amount of alcohol, far more than what would normally be purchased for a quiet holiday meal. Employees later said it looked more like a desperate attempt to hold something together than simple grocery shopping. Shortly afterward, Jasmine was recorded in the parking lot loading the groceries into the trunk of a white Honda Accord. She lingered beside the car, made a brief phone call, abruptly ended it, and drove away. Back on East 7th Street, a neighbor watched as Jasmine returned home and began unloading heavy grocery bags alone. Her husband, Cameron Brooks, stood nearby on the porch with his phone pressed to his ear, offering no help. When Jasmine tried to get his attention, he dismissed her with a wave of his hand. She made several trips back and forth while Cameron remained on the call, his voice sharp and tense. As the day progressed, signs of escalating conflict became impossible to ignore. A mail carrier delivering Christmas cards later reported hearing raised voices from inside the Brooks home, something he had never encountered there before. The woman's voice sounded strained and emotional, while the man's tone grew increasingly hostile. A food delivery driver arrived later that afternoon with a takeout order. As he approached the door, he could clearly hear an argument inside. Words about money and cheating cut through the door. When Cameron finally opened it, he appeared rushed and irritated, paid in exact cash without leaving a tip, and quickly shut the door again. The argument continued inside. Throughout the afternoon, Cameron was seen acting nervously around the neighborhood. Surveillance footage captured him withdrawing the maximum amount of cash from an ATM, canceling the transaction more than once before completing it. A bank security guard later described his behavior as unusually anxious. Across the street, neighbors noticed Jasmine pacing inside the house, moving from window to window with her phone in hand. She appeared deeply distressed, reading messages, covering her face, and starting and ending calls as if unsure who to reach out to. This behavior was completely out of character for her. Later, Cameron spent hours at a nearby coffee shop, sitting by the window with a single untouched drink. He repeatedly stepped outside to take phone calls, gesturing angrily and raising his voice. Staff remembered him constantly checking the time and staring towards his house, growing more agitated as evening approached. Digital records later revealed intense exchanges between Cameron and another woman, Serenity Jones. The messages suggested unresolved conflict and mounting pressure. Serenity appeared equally unsettled at work that night, repeatedly checking her phone and making unsuccessful calls. As night fell, Cameron returned home. A neighbor saw him pause at the doorway as if bracing himself before going inside. Not long after, voices inside the house rose again, accusations, denials, and anger colliding behind closed walls. Late that night, nearby residents heard the argument escalate into something far more frightening. Furniture moved, heavy footsteps followed, then came screams, raw and desperate, before everything suddenly went silent. That silence unnerved at least one neighbor, a former military man, who recognized it as a dangerous sign. After waiting and hearing nothing further, he called emergency services to report the disturbance. When patrol officers arrived, the house appeared quiet. Windows were closed. Knocks went unanswered. Seeing no visible signs of forced entry, officers logged the call and left. What they didn't know was that inside the house, Jasmine Brooks was already dead. Later that night, surveillance footage saw Cameron leaving the house carrying a long bundle wrapped in dark fabric. He placed it into a trash bin, returned inside, then came back out with more items. Each time he scanned the area, moving cautiously. A basement light flicked on, something neighbors had never seen at night before. After a short while, it went dark. The house fell completely still. The following morning, a neighbor noticed the Brooks' front door standing slightly open. Concerned by the previous night's events, he approached and called out. Receiving no response, he entered the house. Inside, furniture was upturned. Dark stains marked the floor. In the living room, Jasmine Brooks lay lifeless beside a shattered coffee table surrounded by blood. Multiple stab wounds covered her torso. A kitchen knife lay nearby. Emergency services were called immediately. Police arrived, confirmed her death, and secured the scene. Investigators quickly determined the killing was brutal and personal. There were signs of a violent struggle, but no forced entry, indicating the attacker had access to the home and knew the victim. Attention soon turned to Cameron Brooks. He was missing. So was the family car. Hours later, police located Cameron sitting alone in a shopping mall, staring into space with a cup of coffee in front of him. He did not resist arrest. During questioning, Cameron's story shifted repeatedly. His alibi collapsed. Surveillance footage, witness testimony, digital messages, and forensic evidence painted a clear picture of deception and escalating violence. What began as suspicion of betrayal ended in a deadly confrontation, one fueled by lies, emotional pressure, and a moment of irreversible rage. This was not a random act.
Noted that
it was
all
a crime
windows were
born
shut
inside
tight.
a marriage
They knocked
already
repeatedly
falling
on the front
apart.
door, announcing their presence, but no one answered. After several minutes of attempting contact and finding no visible signs of forced entry or immediate danger, the officers concluded that there were no legal grounds to enter the residence by force. They documented the visit, completed an exterior inspection, and left the scene. The official report stated that the house appeared secure and undisturbed from the outside. Later that night, Serenity Jones left her workplace earlier than scheduled. Co-workers later recalled that she appeared emotionally overwhelmed and said she needed to deal with an urgent personal matter. Management confirmed she was allowed to leave due to her distressed condition. Parking lot cameras showed her getting into her vehicle and driving away quickly toward downtown. The following morning, Isaiah Morgan stepped onto his porch to retrieve his newspaper. Almost immediately, he noticed something unusual. The front door of the neighboring Brooks house was slightly ajar. This immediately alarmed him. The family was known for being careful and methodical about locking their doors, especially during colder months. Morgan waited briefly, watching for movement or signs of activity, but the house remained eerily still. Concerned by the silence and troubled by the sounds he had heard the night before, Morgan approached the house and called out. When there was no response, he gently pushed the door, which opened fully. Inside, he saw overturned furniture in the hallway and dark stains on the floor. His concern escalated into dread. Calling out again with no answer, Morgan cautiously entered and moved toward the living room. The air inside was heavy, carrying a sharp metallic odor he immediately recognized from his military experience. What he found confirmed his worst fears. Jasmine Brooks lay on the floor beside an overturned coffee table, surrounded by blood. She was motionless. With his medical training, Morgan quickly understood there was nothing that could be done. Multiple stab wounds were visible on her torso, and a blood-covered kitchen knife lay nearby. The living room showed clear signs of a violent struggle: displaced furniture, blood spatter on the walls, and disturbed carpeting. Morgan immediately contacted emergency services, reporting the discovery of a deceased woman and a suspected homicide. His voice remained controlled but urgent as he followed the operator's instructions, careful not to disturb anything at the scene. Police arrived shortly afterward and confirmed Jasmine's death. Officers secured the residence, documented the scene, and interviewed Morgan about both his discovery and the events of the previous night. Their initial assessment pointed unmistakably to a violent attack. Detective Tyrone Clark, a veteran homicide investigator with extensive experience in domestic violence cases, was assigned to lead the investigation. Upon arrival, he took command and began a methodical examination of the scene. The victim's body showed multiple stab wounds to the chest, abdomen, and back. The pattern and depth of the injuries suggested a frenzied, close-range attack. There were no clear defensive wounds, indicating the assault may have been sudden or that Jasmine had little chance to protect herself. The living room bore unmistakable evidence of a struggle. Furniture overturned, cushions scattered, and blood patterns suggested movement during the attack. The knife used in the killing was found a short distance from the body, likely dropped during the confrontation. Forensic specialists arrived to document the scene, photograph evidence, and collect biological samples. Particular focus was placed on fingerprints, DNA traces, and bloodstain patterns. A detailed diagram was created to preserve the layout exactly as it was found. Detective Clark conducted in-depth interviews with witnesses, beginning with Isaiah Morgan. Clark noted Morgan's military background and his ability to clearly describe the sequence of sounds he heard, lending weight to his testimony. Morgan's description of escalating voices followed by sudden silence deeply concerned investigators. Another neighbor, Angela Cross, reported seeing unusual activity inside the house that night, including lights turning on and off and prolonged illumination in the basement, something she had never seen before. She also provided footage from her home surveillance system, which investigators immediately secured. As the investigation progressed, attention quickly turned to Jasmine's husband, Cameron Brooks. He was nowhere to be found, and his vehicle was missing from the driveway. A search of the home revealed signs of hurried packing and attempted cleanup, including blood-stained towels in the bathroom and scattered clothing in the bedroom. Investigators also recovered discarded items from a nearby trash container, including blood-stained clothing, gloves, and cleaning materials. These items were carefully cataloged and sent for laboratory analysis. An alert was issued for Cameron Brooks and the missing vehicle. Law enforcement agencies across the county were notified and instructed to approach with caution. Additional witness statements painted a troubling picture of escalating domestic conflict. Neighbors recalled frequent arguments in recent weeks and described Cameron's increasingly secretive behavior, including late-night departures and long phone calls in his car. The missing vehicle was later located in a shopping center parking lot. Officers found Cameron inside the mall, sitting alone with a cup of coffee. He did not resist arrest and appeared emotionally exhausted rather than surprised. During questioning, Cameron initially claimed he had spent the evening at home with his wife before leaving to cool off after an argument.
However, his story quickly unraveled. The friend he named as an alibi denied seeing him, and surveillance footage contradicted his timeline. When confronted with inconsistencies, Cameron changed his account multiple times, claiming confusion and stress. Investigators noted his nervous behavior, shifting explanations, and inability to provide verifiable details. Further forensic analysis strengthened his case against him. Torn documents recovered from the trash were reconstructed and found to be printed messages between Cameron and another woman. Digital analysis of Jasmine's phone revealed messages sent to a friend expressing her belief that her husband was having an affair and her intention to confront him. Re-examination of surveillance footage showed Cameron making multiple trips to dispose of items after the sounds of the struggle had ended, more than initially believed. Each trip appeared cautious and deliberate, suggesting an effort to conceal evidence. By the end of the first day, investigators were confident they were dealing with a crime driven by intense emotional conflict rather than a random act. The absence of forced entry, the nature of the wounds, the attempted cleanup, and Cameron's behavior all pointed in the same direction. What had begun as a private domestic dispute had escalated into irreversible violence, leaving one woman dead and exposing a carefully hidden double life that could no longer remain buried.
The violent struggle inside the house had clearly come to an end. A forensic examination of the murder weapon soon delivered critical results. Investigators recovered clear fingerprints belonging to Cameron Brooks on the handle of the knife, along with partial prints from the victim. The positioning of those prints revealed that the weapon had been gripped firmly in a combat-style hold, consistent with repeated stabbing motions. These findings were formally documented and added to the case file. Later that afternoon, Detective Clark issued an official request to the Sapphire Lounge cocktail bar, seeking contact details for one of its employees, Serenity Jones. The bar's manager, Terrence Bradley, cooperated immediately, providing her address and phone number. He confirmed that Serenity had been working the previous night, but had left earlier than usual. Personnel records described her as a reliable employee with no prior disciplinary problems. Timesheets also confirmed that Cameron Brooks had been a frequent visitor to the bar in recent months. Police located Serenity at her apartment and escorted her to the station for questioning. She appeared deeply shaken and repeatedly asked whether something had happened to Cameron. According to officers, she did not resist and voluntarily agreed to accompany them, though she insisted on contacting a lawyer. During the ride to the station, she attempted several times to learn details about the situation and expressed visible concern about Cameron's well-being. Serenity's formal interrogation began shortly afterward, led by Detective Clark and witnessed by Detective Rodriguez. After being read her rights, she confirmed that she had known Cameron Brooks and had been involved in a relationship with him for approximately 6 months. When his name was mentioned, her voice trembled and she showed clear signs of emotional distress, avoiding eye contact and nervously fidgeting with a ring on her finger. She admitted that their relationship had been an affair and explained that she met Cameron at the bar, where he frequently spoke about his unhappy marriage. According to Serenity, Cameron claimed that his wife no longer understood him and that their relationship was beyond repair. She described him as attentive and charming, saying he promised to divorce his wife and start a new life with her. As she spoke about their time together, her tone softened. She recalled gifts, dinners, and conversations about their future.
Serenity stated that Cameron planned to confess the affair after the Christmas holidays and file for divorce at the beginning of the new year. They even discussed moving to another city where Cameron hoped to rebuild his career. She admitted she believed his promises and had made serious plans around them, becoming visibly upset as she realized those plans would never happen. Serenity also revealed that Cameron had encouraged her to quit her job, assuring her that he would support her financially. When questioned about their last contact, she described receiving a troubling message from him the night before, in which he mentioned growing difficulties and postponed an important conversation. She attempted to call him later that evening, but he never answered. She explained that her early departure from work was driven by worry and a desire to check on him. They had planned to meet that night, but Cameron canceled at the last moment, citing family issues. When detectives informed Serenity of Jasmine Brooks's death and Cameron's arrest, her reaction was explosive. She stood up abruptly, gripped the table, and repeatedly insisted that it was impossible. She claimed Cameron had never shown aggression toward her and could not be capable of murder. Overcome with emotion, she broke down in tears and was unable to continue speaking for several minutes. At the same time, a specialized forensic team conducted a renewed examination of the crime scene. Investigators uncovered signs of attempted cleanup, including cleaning chemicals in the upstairs bathroom and blood residue in the bathtub drain. Towels showed evidence of wiping blood from various surfaces, and the washing machine contained unusually large amounts of detergent and fabric softener, suggesting an effort to remove biological traces from clothing. In the basement, forensic experts discovered burned papers and photographs. Among the partially destroyed materials were fragments of personal correspondence and images of Cameron with another woman. Handwriting analysis confirmed the notes were written by Cameron. Ash analysis revealed that not only paper, but also plastic items, possibly digital storage devices, had been burned. A review of Cameron's phone records revealed intense communication with Serenity, averaging dozens of calls and hundreds of messages. Court-authorized access to message content showed discussions about their future, financial concerns, and Cameron's increasing pressure at home. Deleted messages recovered from service providers revealed conversations about divorce costs and property division. Financial investigators uncovered suspicious banking activity. Cameron had withdrawn large sums of cash, spending them on gifts, restaurant outings, and expenses unrelated to his household. Records showed that many of these transactions coincided with meetings with Serenity. Investigators also discovered a separate savings account, apparently created to fund a future life away from his family. Digital analysis of Jasmine Brooks's phone revealed that she had suspected the affair. Weeks before her death, she searched for signs of infidelity, divorce laws, and property division. She saved articles, forum discussions, and screenshots of bank transactions and private messages, quietly gathering evidence. When confronted with this growing body of evidence, Cameron continued to deny murder but admitted to the affair. He claimed he intended to resolve the situation peacefully after the holidays. However, when shown messages discussing drastic decisions and plans to remove obstacles, his composure began to crumble. He admitted to hiding money and spending family funds on the relationship, stating that it was the first time he had felt truly happy in years. Forensic testing later confirmed that blood-stained clothing found discarded belonged to the victim, and Cameron's DNA was present on those items. Additional evidence showed traces of the victim's skin beneath Cameron's fingernails, indicating a physical struggle. Further examination of burned documents revealed draft letters addressed to Serenity, in which Cameron spoke about eliminating barriers to their happiness. Linguistic analysis confirmed these notes were written shortly before the murder. By the end of the day, the final forensic report concluded that the nature of the wounds, the pattern of bloodstains, and the accumulation of physical evidence pointed unmistakably to Cameron Brooks. Experts stated that the number and severity of stab wounds indicated a deliberate and premeditated act. During the final interrogation, detectives reconstructed the events of the night. According to investigators, Jasmine confronted Cameron with proof of his infidelity, triggering a heated argument. Faced with exposure and the collapse of his double life, Cameron lost control and attacked her. In the aftermath, he attempted to erase evidence by disposing of clothing and destroying documents. Confronted with the overwhelming evidence and his own handwritten words, Cameron finally admitted that his plans had spiraled beyond his control, and that the truth he tried so desperately to hide had ultimately destroyed everything.